Women in Tech 2013. Fantastic experience, pretty much like boot camp for Silicon Valley. Highly recommend it to anybody. I had massive takeaways every day, every hour. Do it. It's awesome.
Such an amazing experience. I got to meet lots of other women, women entrepreneurs, and get to really understand their struggles and the similarities with my struggles. So it's really about building that support group, and it was amazing. And also learned a lot of lessons on scalability and what it takes to grow a very large business. So it was just a remarkable experience combined with networking.
And to be honest, it's exceeded my expectations, and they were fairly high. We had the opportunity to have really real conversations with people that gave us really tactile advice that we could run with, things about user interface design, things about standards, and just some of the other programs that are really here. There's definitely a lot to look at on the venture capital side, but it's not just that. It's looking at other people that are doing the same thing as you, and there's so many of them that it's easy to find a lot of great relationships that you can really build on. And at the end of the day, people make relationships with a human connection, and getting that face-to-face time makes all the difference in the world.
So what did I learn coming down here to San Francisco, to Silicon Valley, that's going to help me when I go back to my business in Kelowna? What I learned was the power of networking, that when you put groups of people with not necessarily similar vision, but I think similar energy, and one of the things about this area is people have a very similar energy, and that energy really does tend to form yet more energy. People are excited about innovation and excited about technology in a way that I haven't really seen in groups of people before. We have good communities in Canada, they're fabulous. This is definitely a large community of those type of people, and I noticed that just being around networks of women, and there are a lot of supportive, successful women down here who are very excited about the future of technology and women, and what I discovered was how important that is to me. I discovered that that actually can fuel me for a long time now.
Hi, I'm really glad I participated in the TechWomen 2013 because every single meeting that we had, I learned specific nuggets that I could take back and apply to the companies that I work with, and also the opportunity to meet people. You could just go up and talk to people from Google and Microsoft and all these great companies that you never have a chance to meet before. You get to meet them face to face and they listen to you. So it is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity, and I encourage anyone who thinks that they are qualified to apply for this program. Thanks.
It was so inspiring to see people in person and not just like read about their bios online.
Their companies to high levels and contribute to a lot of values to their companies, and actually I love the energy of connecting with other Canadian entrepreneurs.
I had an awesome time here. I'm definitely inspired to come back again, and whether it's through the CTA program or 48 hours, find a way to come back.
I think it was been a wonderful adventure. I made so many good friends, and we've had so much in common. I think there's a lot that ties female entrepreneurs together. So what I'll take back with me are the friendships, the relationships, the new connections that I have, and also all the experiences that you can only have in the Valley.
So Canadian women should take away that when you go back and you're going deep into your businesses, there's going to be moments where you feel lonely. Entrepreneurship is a lonely sport, and so realize that you're doing something that no one has done before, and that's exciting, and it takes guts. And so you should be proud of yourself and realize that, there's someone else out there who's just sitting on their butt doing nothing about it, and you're taking action, and so that should drive you to keep on going.
Cool. And what can people learn from Design Thinking California? Like what kind of key insights you get here that you wouldn't get elsewhere?
Fail early and often, and what that means is when you prototype and sort of launch pilots or put things in front of people, it's okay if it's total crap at the beginning and you feel like you're failing, because you're actually learning and it's going to improve the end results.
Hi, I'm Michelle Zatlin. I'm the co-founder and head of user experience at Cloudflare. I'm Canadian, but my company is based in San Francisco. And so for all of you Canadian entrepreneurs out there, when you're thinking about why should I spend time in San Francisco, or why should I maybe be part of these 48 hours in the Valley or the CTA program, well, I will say that it will help you get your company further faster. San Francisco is the tech center of the world. The amount of brain power and knowledge all within this 35 square mile radius is unlike anywhere you live currently. And if you come and spend, whether it's 2 days, 5 days, 3 months here, you will leave feeling like you have more confidence to build your company to take it to the next level. The network that you meet will help you'll have definitely seen it before. The partnerships that you'll build will help take your company to the next revenue level or distribution level. And you will just be personally inspired to think bigger, to go further. And so I highly encourage you to try it out.
Hi, I'm Atlee, and I'm the Executive Director at the C100. And, companies ask me all the time if they need to move to the Silicon Valley. My answer is always, it depends, but at the very least, every single founder or CEO should spend time down here. There's no doubt that the energy and the speed at which things happen down here is an important thing for every founder, every entrepreneur to just experience. And you come down here and you meet a million people who are doing a million different things. You get their energy, you bottle it up, and you take it back to your team in Canada. And there's nothing quite like it, and I would advise everyone to come. And when you come, let us know.
Why Canadians should make the trip to the Valley in person as opposed to hear about it and think about it. So the reason that you should do it is not only for the connections that you'll make, but the energy that it'll give you when you come back home. So I just finished speaking to a Canadian entrepreneur that said to me, the major reason I'm thinking of moving my company here is because the energy level is completely different. So that's the inspiring piece, and that's the piece you can take home.
I guess the question is, why should Canadian entrepreneurs visit Silicon Valley? So the biggest reason is, first of all, have someone to come and meet out here before you make the trip out here, so you have an agenda. The second piece is, do your homework, so you know who you need to meet, what you need to do. The biggest reason to come out here is really to meet the who's who. Majority of the money, we just left a conference here where Ann Wimblad explained there was over $11 billion of investments made just last year.
This is where the money's at. This is where you can really see the virtuous circle of company creation. This is where you'll learn that you're going to have to make sure that you have enough people to row the oars in your boat in smooth and choppy waters. And this is where you're going to compete for talent. So welcome to Silicon Valley.
So I think while starting a startup anywhere is absolutely possible, and starting a startup in Canada is a really good idea. There's so much going on in Silicon Valley that coming down and immersing yourself, maybe stealing some of what's best here, learning from those who've done it before, sort of seeing the epicenter of a lot of activity and then taking it home with you is incredibly valuable. If anybody does get the opportunity, it's one that I think any entrepreneur should jump on.
So the main reason why I think a Canadian company should come down to the Bay Area is for the business development opportunities. You can come down here, everywhere you go, there's people talking about deals and creating new partnerships. So I think the ability and the opportunity to come down here, create partnerships, find complementary solutions, and then go to market with those partners and those solutions and find new customers, I think is invaluable. It's happening around here all the time. You go to Starbucks, there's people talking about new deals constantly and how to find new customers. And if you come down to the Bay Area, you'll find those partners, you'll find those customers, and you'll be successful.
I would say the main reason for somebody from Canada to come down here to Silicon Valley to really experience what it's all about is the networking aspect. I think there's no place I have been, and I've lived all over the world, and in Canada as well as in the Midwest in the US and the East Coast, there's no place in the world that is as open about sharing knowledge and contacts as in Silicon Valley. Let me give you an example. So I'm a mentor as part of the TechWomen Canada program, and a week prior to her arriving in San Francisco, I got a lot of information about what her business does, and I discovered I actually don't know much about that industry. However, I reached out to 5 friends who were either in VC or had something to do with her vertical. All 5 of them replied within 2 days and all said yes regarding having a chat with her, having lunch with her. The worst answer I got back was, well, I'm a CEO of my own startup and I'm working 16 hours a day, but I'll be happy to at least get on a call. I only have 15 minutes, so make sure she has specific questions. That's the worst you're gonna hear back. Just yesterday, another friend wanted to find out more about a particular type of business need that she was brainstorming about for a potential idea. And so she doesn't even have an existing business, just wanted to reach out and do some more market research. And within that afternoon, I emailed 4 people. They all replied within an hour, and she was able to set up calls. And these were people that I'm not best friends with. These are people that I had met maybe 2 years ago, a former colleague that both of us now are different companies. Yet, that strong connection and the willingness to share, I think, is because of this, the virtual cycle that is built here, because they know they probably got their last job through an introduction by a friend. And this is how I actually got to Silicon Valley, through a classmate who was willing to introduce me to people, who then introduced me to more people, and I was able to make the jump from into technology from strategy consulting. So in my mind, when I think of Silicon Valley, it's all about, just ask what you want, and people will help you reach out to more people. And the willingness to share will then be ingrained in you. And somebody, when they reach out to you, you will also say yes and pay it forward.